custom stream for our YouTube. Let's make sure that goes to YouTube. Connecting. I love it when it connects. That's awesome. And it looks like we got a lot of people in the chat here too. We got the Will Fly said howdy back to you. John Wayne is in the chat. He says, sorry guys, wing is set up and I'm taking off a minute. See you around 8:30. Well, John Wayne, you go have some fun, buddy. We appreciate you at least saying hello in the chat. We got Joshua March PPG, Jim Care PPG, and we got Bill H, Will Fly, Padre Brooke PPG is in the chat. Greg Laney is in the chat. I'm not in there, but I should say hello. Yeah, I was in the chat. I did say howdy. I was the first one. Sweet. Well, welcome everybody to PPG Grandpa's Paramotor Podcast, ClearProp TV, and paratalk.org. This is going to be a wonderful podcast. As always, we know that a lot of you are out flying, like John Wayne was saying. So we always have the podcast at your favorite podcasting app. Anytime after this, just search for PPG Grandpa's Paramotor Podcast. Let's say hello to Linda Anderson. She's our Paramom USA from paramomusa.com. She has her little pom-poms.
What's up, everybody?
What's up?
Monday night.
Glad you are here, Linda.
In the house. Thank you so much. Thank you, chatters. Thank you, viewers, for hanging out with us tonight. Mondays always rock. So just sit back, enjoy, grab your snacks and whatever you got to do. And yeah, enjoy. We got lots of stuff going on here tonight with our guest, Stephen English, in the house. So I'm pretty excited. So like I said, y'all enjoy it. It's for you. This is for you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Linda Anderson, for joining us. If you want to be on the show, just make sure you go to paramomusa.com. That forwards over to her Facebook page. You can PM her and say, yo, I want to be on PPG Grandpa's Paramotor Podcast, ClearProp TV, or paratalk.org, and she will hook you up.
That's right. I'll hook you up.
Thank you very much, Miss Linda. We also got Will Fly from willflyppg.com. What's up, Will?
Hey. Had in here in North Carolina, last few days has been crappy weather, but today I got a nice hour-long flight and I couldn't be happier to get back up in the sky. Not as happy as I am right now, though. I mean, 8 o'clock on Monday nights, PPG Grandpa show, but hey.
Well, I'm always going to say that flying is going to be more fun than being here and talking about paramotoring. It's much more fun to be doing the real thing. So you got any new videos that we need to go check out, Will?
Still working on it, but yeah, check out the videos at willflyppg.com or just go to YouTube and search for Will Fly. You'll find me.
Awesome. Will Fly is going to be looking in the chat to see if there's any questions for Stephen. And if you do have a question, make sure that you tag Will Fly. All right. We also got Jim from Canada. The only guy I know that has maple syrup smelling money. We should put that on the calendar too. How you doing, Jim?
I'm doing well. Thank you.
So what's new with you? What number are you up to on your flying?
I'm at flight 143 now.
143. That's awesome, man. You're going to be up there to 200 in no time. I like your hat. What's your hat say? And what is that all about?
Oh, my hat says Care Printing and Publishing. That's my business. I print on things.
That's awesome.
Don't ask me what I do because it's putting ink on paper.
Anything. Oh, really? So you can make your own money?
Aha.
No.
Jim's the reason for our inflation.
It's the reason for maple syrup smelling money. He's actually pouring it on his stuff and putting it out there.
You're allowed to joke about that. I'm not.
He's not allowed to joke about printing up fake money. So I can do that, but he can't. If you want to, he also has a DIY company. So tell us real quick about that, buddy.
DIYprinting.ca, and you can go on there. You can design prints like business cards, flyers, whatever you want to design, and just submit the graphics, and we'll print them up and ship them to you.
Awesome. Even though you're in Canada, we from the States can go to that DIY site.
That is for sure. You can't.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Jim does print up all of our Clear Prop TV stickers. We're going to be sending out some more stickers. Just get up with me. You know my number, 501-747-3558. Just text me and say, yo, I heard that you're giving away free stickers, and I'll send some out to you. We also got Wade Collins in the background. He's helping us out with logos. He's going to be on our panel tonight, just watching. So thank you, Wade. We appreciate you. But it's not about you guys on the panel. It's definitely not about me. Tonight. He's our guest tonight, and I think I just messed up my microphone. Can you hear me okay? Good.
That's okay now.
He's our guest tonight, and he's going to be telling us about his fun shenanigans. He's been learning, or he has been a pilot since 2020, but he also back in 2003 got his general aviation's license, your sports pilot's license. That's correct, right, Stephen?
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me. So back in 2004 is when I actually got my private pilot's license. Not my sports license, the private license. And my first passenger at the time was my dad after the check ride the day after. And fast forward to 2018, I saw a special video. I think everybody who flies, well, a lot of people who fly paramotors these days know about. It's the Tucker flies to McDonald's famous video. And that gave me the bug, and I watched his show or his channel for the next 2 years before I finally dove in. And it was in 2020, June of 2020. It was the silver lining of the year for me. I got to solo get my PPG2 license or certification.
Awesome. So real quick, what's the difference between the general aviation's license and a sports pilot license?
Yeah, so with PPL, there aren't as nearly as many limitations to when you can fly. I believe they can't fly at night, but I could be wrong there. There's all kinds of limits. I'm not sure what they are. I haven't looked at that in a while, but it at least allows you to go on cross countries during the day. Take up a passenger here and there. Although I'm not sure even if that's something you can do, but
so there's a pilot, so there's a sports pilot license, there's a general aviation's license, I assume
private pilot's
commercial license. What's that?
So it's private pilot's license and then sports license. And the sport license was it was brought out after that, after I had got my private pilot license. Just I guess allow more folks access to aviation, general aviation. That was the idea. But yeah, it's just more limitations basically than with your private pilot's license.
So what's the easiest one to get? Let's just say that, we are into this PPG, we want to, go into fixed wings. What would be the cheapest way or the easiest way to get a license to fly something that has more than just one seat?
I would say your tandem exemption with PPG, flying with strikes. Now,
right.
That's probably the cheapest way in all reality. But yeah, getting your sports license, I would imagine, would be the cheapest way to go.
Okay. And with the sports license, you can fly the PPC 2-seaters and things like that, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. Sounds like you got a lot of aviation under your belt. So welcome to the show, Stephen. We definitely appreciate it that you're here. So tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into paramotoring, and then let's go into your prop was spinning on your rack as you were driving.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, it was really that bug that caught me by watching Tucker fly. I've also watched quite a few of your vids and watched your development, your growth in the sport. So you were definitely an inspiration there too. But yeah, once I got my PPG2, I done at Aviator, I brought it back up to Pennsylvania, and my first attempt at flying in Pennsylvania, it was interesting. So it was going to be a morning flight and I had everything I put together. The whole process was laid out. I knew what I was doing, and I had my motor on the platform on my Jetta, and I was actually going over to pick up my now wife's mother, so my mother-in-law now, going to pick her up, and everything was fine going to her house. And then when I picked her up and we were going to the field, we're going down the road, and I hear thump, 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 thump. And I look in the rearview mirror and I see my prop just spinning. And I knew, my heart just sunk at that moment. I knew that I wasn't going to be flying that morning because I didn't have a backup prop. And so, I wasn't about to give up. I thought maybe there's a possibility I could find a prop somewhere. I didn't really know anybody at the time. I didn't have any connections up here in this area. So I reached out to Eric Farewell with AviatorPPG, and I knew that he was friends with Tucker, and Tucker had recently started selling e-props. So maybe 10 minutes after I got in touch with Eric, he hooked me up with Tucker, got me in a group chat with him, and Tucker invited me over to his place, his print shop where he prints his t-shirts in New Jersey. So that was about like an hour and a half drive. I drove over there. I met Tucker. We talked in the parking lot for a good half hour. I got a couple autographs from him. And he invited me to fly that night. Unfortunately, I had obligations with my now wife. The work-life balance thing. You got to keep that up. And he understood. Regardless, I was able to get back and get up that evening. So for me, Tucker saved my first flight in Pennsylvania. He helped me get up in the air.
Well, that's really cool. I think I would have blown off my date with the wife to go fly with Tucker, but hey, I guess you're the better man.
He got it. He understood. You could see it in his eyes. He knew what I was doing. So I think he respected that. So
that's
At least
awesome.
mull it over, man, or was it an immediate? No, did you mull it over at all? Did you have to think about?
Yeah, I did. I did, Will. I thought, wow, that's an opportunity.
Yeah.
This is being recorded, right?
I probably wouldn't have been. I wouldn't have heard the end of it for a couple of days. So there was also that. Playing it safe.
Well, I'm looking at your background because it's not blurred and you don't have something like I got going on. And I see all sorts of interesting things. Matter of fact, I'm going to put you on spotlight as I'm talking so people can look in the back. I see a picture back there. It looks like you got a picture of a wing on your wall. Is that you?
So this right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me with my Spider 3 in South Dakota.
Nice.
My brother lives out in Rapid City. He owns a cabin up in the woods, or it's like pasture land, but Black Hills. It's just amazing terrain out there. And I was just on the top of a hill right there, just kiting in the wind prior to taking off, and I think actually my wife took that picture. But
That's
That Tucker on the left there.
Right here, that's Tucker God's blueprint poster.
Oh, I meant that picture there on your right.
Oh, no, this guy right here. This is actually Jim Carrey.
Oh, that is cool.
So when I was a kid, Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, I watched that over and over, and he actually. So I sent him a request in the mail to get an autographed picture of him. So he wrote to me, "Thank you very much." Signed it, Jim Carrey. Here, let me show you the close up of this.
That's cool.
Well, that is cool.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you very
I
much.
love it.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I love his sense of humor.
Yeah.
He's so cool.
Yep.
Oh, it looks like you play the guitar too. I see the music.
Yeah.
Guitar's behind
So
you.
I was in a garage band back in high school.
Okay, that's
as
where
I-
it starts. That's how you.
Yeah, right. And I got pretty good at it. And then after, like, once I hit college, I didn't really play that much. And I wish I played more, but every now and again, I'll pick it up and noodle around. But
Oh, you should. Oh my gosh, you got, that's, I wish I could play the guitar,
Me
just to
too.
get up in the air and do a tandem was huge for me. I can't imagine learning how to play music, and I love to paint and all that stuff. But anyway,
well,
but that's
I've got
cool.
this acoustic right here that
Wow.
would be fun to, have at a campfire or something, just play some chords, get
So,
everybody singing along.
so I do want to ask you about you bringing a guitar with you to a fly-in, but before then, I see a airplane tail there. So I take it that you fly some RC also.
Yeah. Well, I just got into that after. Well, okay, so let's back up a little bit. I grew a fondness for aviation when I was little. I was the kind of kid who would just look up at the sky at the birds and just watch them fly, and wish I could just be them or be with them up there. And I just always had shared that fondness for flying and aviation with my dad. He was a doctor, so he didn't actually fly, but he definitely had an interest in it, and gave that interest to me, passed that on to me, and I took off with it. We used to build model airplanes together. He got me white wings. I don't know if you guys have heard of those, but they're amazing. They you glue together a bunch of paper, you kind of layer it together and create this really solid fuselage, wing, and tail and everything, and they fly so well. You launch them with a rubber band up in the sky. They stay up sometimes for a couple of minutes. They're great. And we were working on a model RC that we actually never finished, that I have down in the basement. Eventually I will want to get that up, but this is a maybe month-old purchase. This guy, it's a Turbo Timber Evolution, it's called.
That's cool.
And you can see here, maybe the fourth flight in. Let me get a little closer. The landing gear completely got torn off because I tried to loop it a little too low, had a battery that was a little too heavy for that particular maneuver. And I couldn't pull out of the dive, and the gear just came right off. So I was able to glue it back together. I think I'll be good. I just need some springs for the landing gear to keep them together. But
Cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
You gave us a big bio, so the bio for you is down in the description of this video. So if anybody wants to read more about Steven, definitely check that out. But pretty cool. All the stuff that you got going on the background. I see the pictures of, is it that airplane? Is that one that you flew or one that your dad
yeah,
flew?
this guy right here. So that's the plane that I soloed in. My first solo was in that. It's a Piper Cherokee Warrior, and yeah, low wing plane, as opposed to like a Cessna high wing. Lower center of gravity. I like low wings because when you're when you're scanning in a turn, you can see more of the sky, as opposed to a high wing. When you're in a turn, you really can't see above you, and I just like the view better and some of the handling characteristics in a low wing.
That's interesting. Talk about the high wings, the low wings. I wasn't aware of that. That planes had, those planes had that you could
Yep.
model
Yeah, it's a
whatever you pick out to fly. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's a very different experience overall when you go from one to the other. But I mean, the fundamentals are the same. You fly in the same way.
Yeah.
It's just what you're experiencing is a little different.
So what do you prefer? You said you prefer the low
Low
wing?
wing. Yep.
Okay, because is it safer than the high wing? Because as far as going like the winds, is that what it has to do with like going in the wind or turbulence or whatever?
You know, actually a high wing probably would be more stable. But I don't think one's more safe than the other.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just different flying characteristics, really. One interesting thing to note is when you're flaring in a low wing, you're more you have more interaction with the ground effect, you know, with the air kind of pushing off of the ground and then back at you at the underneath of your wing. So you feel more of that, and you kind of float longer with a low wing plane than you do with a high wing plane. So that's something that's different too.
Are they the same, like lengthwise or whatever, or is one maybe a shorter wing than the other, the low and the high wing?
No, I think they're about the same size. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Okay.
Yep.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
I love all the cool things that we get to learn by having different guests and, you know, having this podcast. Now this is on your YouTube channel.
Yeah, this one was one of my favorites to make because I just got some beautiful footage. So this is up near Tunkhannock, Pennsylvania. There's a huge wind turbine area that we were able to go up to. It's just perfect conditions for it. They weren't turning, so you didn't have to worry about any rotor. That's Ben Stang in the red wing, and I got him going around the turbine there. And I was able to get, you just had like such a free perspective because I wasn't piloting the trike at the time. So the trike pilot at the time was Pat Seckley, one of my buddies up here. And so he was flying, I was documenting basically. And I put some good music to this too. It's very emotional. If anybody gets a chance to look at it, it's here's Paul Hardy, one of my other buddies that I fly with a lot. I'm giving him the foot wave there because I have to hold the camera. But yeah, it's just a beautiful area. This is Dave Wells. He recently learned to fly over at FlyPPG in Illinois.
Okay.
And it's great flying with him too.
Well, I'm going to put your YouTube link in the description down below because I don't think that you provided that for me. So I'm going to put that in there. Matter of fact, I'll put it in the super chat real quick. That way, anybody that wants to go to your YouTube channel, hit that subscribe and hit that bell notification. I think you have 33 subscribers-ish. So we definitely want to bring that number up. So if you guys want to, don't forget to like this video, go over there and check out his video, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and hit that bell notification. Awesome. So you've been flying for a couple of years now. Tell us about your most incredible adventure. Have you had one of those yet where that's just like, wow, mind-blowing? That actually looked like it was mind-blowing around those big windmills. Yeah,
it's hard to say. There's been so many now at this point, just in the 2 years that I've been flying. And usually it's a morning flight, but sometimes you get really good evening flights that are just butter. And I had one of those yesterday on my birthday of all days.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Thank you. Yeah, so I met up with my buddy Paul Hardy, who I was giving the foot wave there to, in one of his fields up near Tunkhannock. And there was another pilot there, Herb Wooten. And we got up in the air together. And this was actually the first time I got my wife out to, well, it wasn't the first time she went out. She doesn't like going out because when I'm off yonder, wherever, you know, she doesn't know. She gets kind of bored. We'll say that.
Right.
So, you know, she'd prefer to just let me do my thing and, you know, go out and have fun and enjoy my hobby. But I was able to get her out because it was my birthday. And so I had her there. I had Paul and his wife there, Herb and his dad and his dog. And we went up and we went over to meet up with Dave, who we were hoping would get up in the air. He's kind of new, like I said, so he was having trouble launching. He wasn't able to get up, unfortunately. But Paul and I, we flew together around the area. We had, I think it was like a 20 or 30 mile flight in total. And we were everywhere. We went up and down the river, and I don't have floats, so I was being very mindful of, where I could land along the coastline, or, I could make that field if something happened right now, those kinds of things. I had those in mind. That looks like the Susquehanna. But anyways, yeah, I just remember some memorable moments from that were seeing a bald eagle go across my flight path, waving to people along the shore as they were fishing, going through a tree tunnel. It was like a dried out divergence of the river. So it was completely dried out, but it was just, this tunnel of trees that I went through, and I knew I could clear it. So I did that. I got up and I watched Paul do it. So I got the first person experience of it, and then the third person view of it. And I actually luckily got that on GoPro. So hopefully I'm going to be putting that up on YouTube at some point here. Yeah, so that was the most recent, most memorable flight that I have for sure. Although going back to 2020 in August, so I trained in the beginning of July 2020. And then in August in Jersey Shore, Pennsylvania, where Aviator holds a traveling class, Tucker showed up, and it was, I think, a Saturday morning, and we all woke up and we took off, and we're all just cruising around. It's gorgeous air, butter air, and I'm doing my thing, and then I'm, maybe 500 feet off the ground, and I look over to the end of a field and I see someone swooping around. He's going right for a corn row, or like a road in between the corn, the field of corn. And I had watched enough of his vids to know that that's probably Tucker, because, that's just his style. That's what he likes to do. And so I raced over there, and as he's climbing out of that little pathway, I get up to him. It's probably obvious to him I want a wing bump, and I was able to get a wing bump from Tucker. So that was totally memorable.
Wow.
Then also on that
Wing
flight,
bump from Tucker. You got his autograph. You got his
Yep.
prop. Man, you guys are best buddies and stuff already, aren't you? That's awesome.
Yeah, we're pretty close proximity, so that helps. Yeah.
That's good.
Yep.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Brian Waller wants to know if you have any, I guess, if you're going to pick up general aviation or any interest in doing that fixed wing again.
Yeah, that's a good question, Brian. Thanks. Hey, Bill. Galileo. I have been looking into costs for doing that, because that's the biggest, thing prohibiting me from doing it or getting back into it is just the cost of training that it would take to rent a plane, get an instructor, pay for the fuel. That's just all adds up. And it's like, adds up to like $200 an hour. Maybe not quite that much, but possibly. I haven't looked in a little while, but yeah, so it's very cost prohibitive. But eventually I will get back into it. I have some buddies who fly that I'm looking to, have them take me up and get reacquainted with everything, and then eventually, do another. I just have to do a check ride with an instructor. They could sign me off and say, all right, you're good to fly. I do have to also get a medical done, but yeah, those two things. If I get those two things done, I could just get back into it. So kind of nice.
Yeah, Tony Marzano says that airplanes are for rich people. He's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I mean, there's the
Absolutely.
have-nots and the have-yachts, and freaking expensive.
Yeah, that's the truth, for sure.
Yeah, this is the poor man's aviation. I kind of feel like we're kind of like the mopeds of bikers, because mopeds, we don't need a license, we don't need insurance, we can pick one up off of eBay and go drive it as long as we know the rules of the road, right? We're a little bit slower, only up about 25 miles an hour, and then motorcycles can do 200 miles an hour right by us. So we're kind of like the moped of the flying community type of thing. We are the lowest. We are the lowest, but it's definitely the cheapest. And also too, our $100 burgers are not up to $100. We got the maybe about a $25 burger. So, and Will, tell us
What's
about the $100 burger thing since you're a pilot.
Well, it used to be in the olden days, $100 pilot, or $100 burger was when you'd rent an airplane or even fly your own airplane to another airport, stop, have a bite to eat, get a burger, come back, and that'd be $100. So that's the $100 burger. Yeah, we can like go through the drive-through, we can like fly somewhere and pick up a burger through the drive-through, right?
Yeah, Tucker taught us that. And a lot of people have done that since. I know I've stopped
Can't
in.
do that in an airplane.
You can't do that in an
Sure.
airplane.
No.
I stopped
Yeah,
over.
I've had that $100 burger before. It doesn't taste it. It's all right. You'd expect more for $100.
Yeah, it's definitely the adventure.
It's definitely the adventure.
Yeah.
So it's not that the burger cost $100. It's the amount that you're paying to get into that airplane, the fuel, flying from that airport to the other airport. So it's not the burger's
Right.
$100.
It's the mission.
It's the mission, right? I mean, Tucker went to McDonald's. Let's see, Anthony Vella went to Walmart and made himself a peanut butter and jelly. I went to Denny's, which was really fun. My friends and I went over to Sonic one time. So I mean, it's fun to take your paramotor someplace, but it's not going to be that expensive. Our gas is still a lot cheaper than general aviation. We are about a half an hour into our podcast. Jim, would you say hello to everybody that said hello to us in the super chat real quick? And you're still on mute. He goes, crap, I'm on mute. That mute thing. Come on, maple syrup, you can do it.
I'm slow as molasses today.
Hey, just say hello to everybody in the chat for us, buddy.
We got a few people here today that have said hello. There's Bill H, Padre Brooke. We've got Greg Lanny. How do you say that, Greg? Is it Lanny or Lene? Sorry, man. Jason Renault, Mad Sloper,
Hey.
Ray Morgan. We've got Tony Marzano and
Cool.
Z. Who is Z? Or should we call him Zed? No, it says State Park. He must be Z. Okay. So then we've got SC Aviator. We've got William Garland, who apparently has just started a power motor repair shop. So you can check in with him about any repairs that are needed. We've got Flying Flamingo. And I think that Angela Preslick is in the house as well.
Hey, girl.
Oh, and you'll never guess. Brian Waller is here. I think that there's a story coming up about Brian
Brian
Waller.
Waller? Fellas in the chat, Mr. Haybale.
What's up, hey Bill?
What's
What's up, Haybill?
And Mac Fly Guy is in the house, as well as Kenneth Kidwell.
Awesome. Well, welcome everybody. Glad that you're in the chat.
Come on.
If you're able to give us that thumbs up, that really helps a lot. We definitely appreciate you guys. Was there any questions on the panel for Stephen?
Oh, gosh. I don't know. Did somebody ask us already, Stephen? Like, when did you start flying airplanes? Like,
I
when
think we
did you
talked
start-
about that in the pre-show.
Yeah.
So I started flying airplanes. Actually, my first experience with flight was sailplane, and it was an Aviation 101 course that I took when I was in high school at the local college. And they took us to a glider field and towed us up and gave us the controls in a glider. So that was my first experience flying an actual airplane. And then it was in 2003 when I started my PPL, get going towards my PPL license, private pilot's license.
Okay.
So I got my private pods license at the end of my freshman year in 2004.
Oh, okay. And so you're still flying the airplanes then on and off? Or?
No. Okay. So yeah, that what happened there was I did have an intent to fly commercially. I was going to pursue my instrument rating, my commercial license, multi-engine ratings, all that stuff. So as I mentioned previously, my dad was my first passenger after my check ride to get my private pilot's license, which was amazing. And that flight, I remember just explaining everything to him, just freely, just like moving around the cockpit, showing him, this does this does that, explaining why I'm doing this, why I'm telling them that on the radio, all those kinds of things. And he was just fascinated. He loved it. So that was the day after my check ride. And then 3 months later, unfortunately, I lost him to lung cancer. And that just took the wind right out of my sails. Kind of went into a depression. Really stopped flying. I kept flying until about 2005, but then after that, I just I couldn't get myself to the airport anymore.
Okay. I'm sorry.
But then, yeah, so I limped along. Limped along until maybe like 2018, and then I saw Tucker's video, and I was hooked. I had to get back into it. I had to get back into flying.
Good.
So
That's
I used
awesome.
that to do it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's good.
Since
That's what
you,
your dad would want you to do.
yeah,
He wants
That's
you to
right.
be back up in the air,
That's
right?
right. Absolutely.
Right. That's right.
so I know there's a lot of pilots out there. Will Fly is a pilot also too, and he also loves the paramotor. Between flying like fixed wing, like general aviation, or flying paramotors, and you said that you're also in a trike too, what is your favorite form of recreational flying?
This is a question for me or Will?
For you, Stephen.
Well, okay, it's definitely paramotors, and the reason being is just the amount of freedom that you have that you don't have flying fixed wing. I mean, you can fly over the treetops and then just put your hands up and drop down into a field and start foot dragging it, or you can go all the way up to, well, like Chucky did, up to 17.5 and be irresponsible like that. But there's just so much breadth of what you can do in a paramotor, as opposed to in a fixed wing plane. With those, you're just limited to airports and flying above 500 feet. So yeah, it's just the freedom of paramotors.
I've
It's got
heard
me
that
hooked.
a lot. A lot of it was
Yeah.
from Will too. Will said the same thing, right? Well, you feel the same way, Will?
Yeah, I mean, the whole idea is to fly and to get the feeling of flying. That it doesn't compare to an airplane, and the paramotors got that beat.
Absolutely.
So I do have a question for you, for both Will and Stephen, since you both have flown airplanes, fixed wing. What do you think is easier to learn to fly, a fixed wing airplane or a paramotor with a soft wing? Stephen, you first.
Yeah, well, a plane is definitely more complicated. You have systems you have to worry about, electrical, radio, the engine, how it works, what to do in emergencies with all of that. Talking on the radio, it just, there's a lot more involved with flying a plane than there is with a paramotor. But I mean, that said, it does take a bit of gumption to want to run into the sky like we do with paramotors. So it's they've each got their own levels of challenge for sure. But I think Will would agree that because of the complexity of airplanes versus paramotors, they're probably the harder one to fly.
Okay, what do you think, Will? Because you also are a general aviation instructor, or you were, correct?
I still am.
Oh, good. Okay. So
Yeah, that's the most difficult thing to teach someone, is how to land the airplane. The airplane will fly because that's what it's designed to do. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely more complicated. An airplane, like we were, Stephen was saying, with the systems and stuff. But all of that aside, just the flying of the airplane is much more difficult to, I would think, than, well, I know. I mean, I basically had 6 lessons, and I was flying the aircraft by myself with the paramotor. It wasn't the king of an airplane. Not only that, once I'm airborne in the paramotor on my first flight, if it is to be, it is up to me, and I'm the one making all the calls, right? So, yeah, definitely, paramotor was much easier to pick up.
Okay, for all the people out there that were on the cusp of, well, should I get my general aviations or my private pilot license, or should I go into paramotor / triking? There's your answer. It's a little bit more expensive. Okay, a lot more expensive for your general aviations or your pilot's license, or a lot less expensive because you can put everything into your car and trunk with a paramotor and a bolt-on trike. So you can actually do like a retractor trike, bolt on to your foot launch, and you can put everything into your car. So you don't need a hanger and a place to put everything. So paramotors are pretty inexpensive, easy to transport, launch almost anywhere. I think they're awesome, and that's why I've been doing it. I can't imagine me not doing it. I think I see this for the rest of my life.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
I agree with
fun.
that.
Love it.
There was one thing that Steven said that's a biggie between, flying an airplane and flying a paramotor, and that's the freedom. I mean, you really are much more free in a paramotor to go. You see something kind of cool, you go over there, check it out. You can get lower. They're just so much more maneuverable. And I think that's why I love the sport so much. Just the total freedom of kind of doing what I want.
I don't know. I still would love to do, go on an airplane. Like I've been watching JT Ordell on Facebook and stuff, and he flew with the pilot, and all that stuff. And that would be so fun. So you never know.
Yeah, I guess you could also put all of your paramotor gear in a fixed wing airplane, fly someplace very far away, and then relaunch your paramotor at the airport that you landed at. So
how fun would that be?
that sounds pretty interesting. I mean, so I guess it really depends. Flying a paramotor is for fun, and I think flying an airplane is for destination, like a car, basically.
Yeah, I just think it'd be fun if you've never done it. It'd be fun to fly in an airplane like that. As to I flew in commercial planes a million times, but to be in on those private planes or whatever, that would be, I don't know what you call them, but that would be like super fun. So
yeah,
just
what would
put
you
the word out there? Anybody wants to fly into Petoskey, at Torchport, let me know. I'll be there.
Most private airplanes, small airplanes, are 2-seat or 4-seat, right? That's about average 2 to 4 seats for a private. Four.
That's probably average.
Four.
Four
Okay.
is probably average, I would guess. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
So you have to have a license to fly other people, but because we're only flying ourselves, single seat, and it's under 254 pounds, we don't need to have a license. We don't need to have an N number. We don't need to have all the complications of radioing the tower and stuff like that. So you're right. We do have lots of freedom. It's absolutely amazing. Speaking about freedom, could you tell us a little bit about what wing you have, what motor you have, frame that you have? What do you think about it? And have you flown anything else other than your own rig?
Yeah, well, in training down at Aviator, I tried fly products. I don't remember the names of, maybe the Eclipse. Do you know if that's the name of a fly products rig? The harness?
Clips?
The Clips, yeah. So I flew that, at least I think that's the name of it. But I have a decent amount of time in an Atom 80, but it's mainly Parajet. Like I really felt comfortable in their harness and the setup, and how the frame is built. It just feels very comfortable. It's lightweight. It's a little flexible, but not too flexible. But I really found that I enjoy the power of a Moster 185. So I have a Parajet Maverick with Moster 185.
And how much do you weigh?
What's that?
How much do you weigh?
185-ish.
Okay.
So yeah, I like the climb rate. I love the get up and go with the Moster. The wing that I fly is an Ozone Spider 3 24 meter. And I just love the way that handles. I think it's great for beginners, and I think it's great for people who want to progress further, you know, and try different things, all the things that you can do with paramotoring. I just love the way that thing wing overs. It's just so smooth, and you do kind of have to throw it around a little bit. You have to use a lot of weight shift to get a good wing over, but when you do, it just feels so great. And it also has the ability, the option for tying in 2D steering. It's got the tip steering lines with the toggles attached to a magnet that you can, you know, take the toggles off and attach it in for 2D steering. So you could do that. You can also use a speed bar. So, you know, pretty much all the advanced wings have, it has those capabilities. It's just not you know, it's more docile than the more advanced wing. That's all.
Yeah, I think those are pretty good wings. My first wing was the Roadster 3, which is the heavier version of the Spider 3.
Yep.
You know, the Spider 3 pops up a lot better than the Roadster 3. I mean, brand new, side by side, the Spider will go boop in the most lightest winds. It's
Agreed.
really awesome. They're really
Agreed.
great for new students, because if you don't touch the trims, you keep your trims in or at neutral, and you don't touch your tip steering, it's a very stable, amazing beginner wing. As you grow into it, you let the trims
Yep.
out, you hit the speed bar, you use the tip steering. Once you learn about the tip steering, then you can tie it in, like you said, for the 2D. I personally like it separate. That's just my, you know, thoughts. I got the Roadster 3 and a bunch of different wings I've had that had the tip steering, and I just like the ability to go up and grab that tip steering if I need to, instead of having to worry about, you know, in or out, up or down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree with the easy to inflate thing, and I think that's especially important around here in Pennsylvania because of the. I mean, it's not as mountainous as out west necessarily, but you know, we've got a terrain here too, and anytime the wind picks up a good amount, it's not always the best to fly. So, you know, we try to pick nil wind, or, you know, up to 5 miles an hour. Above that, it's just not fun around here anyway. I find, for me personally anyway.
How high are you above sea level? What's your ground level?
It depends. So it's anywhere from like 500 to 1500 or so. No,
That much
yeah,
difference of where you live?
So I mean, the mountains kind of pick up. I'm in what they call the valley, in between Scranton and Wilkes-Barre.
Okay.
I don't know if you know where that is in northeast Pennsylvania, but it's
Okay.
it's just this big, deep valley, and so my house is at about 500 feet above sea level, and then where I go to fly, which is over the ridge, and to the north about 15 miles. At Symons Airport is I think 900 feet, or I want to say, but it's higher, you know, and that area generally is higher above sea level than where I live here in the valley.
Okay. Do you feel any difference from 500 feet above sea level to 1500 feet as far as taking off with your 24-meter wing?
Not really. No, not much of a difference.
Especially since you got that Moster 185.
Oh yeah, that gets me right up there.
And you're 185. Will, how much did you say you weigh, bud?
150.
150. And you started off, Will, with the Atom 80, then you went up to the Moster 185 at 150. And Steven, you started off with the Moster 185, but you did fly the Atom 80s or the 80cc before. Is that correct? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I did have a number of flights on the Atom 80, so I got to compare the two, you know,
Mhm.
to make a choice which one I liked the best, and I definitely like the better climb rate, and the power around turns is also cool. You know, I like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
and with the right wing too, with an efficient wing, the fuel consumption is not that big of a deal, really.
No, I agree. Yeah, no, I don't burn that, you know, a
You
whole hell of a
started
lot.
out, the Spider 3 is a B wing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yeah, so you started out, that was your first wing?
their first flights, they get you up on an A-wing with a Mojo. So, and it was the older Mojo, the one before the winglets, not the Power Mojo 2. And that thing in the morning, it gets wet, and trying to pull it up is really hard. It's like a boat trying to get it up in the air. And there were a lot of failed launches and a lot of huffing and puffing back then. So, you know, they switched me over to the Spider, and I just freaking loved it. I mean, it was just easy launch, got right up, and I love the handling characteristics once I was up. So I'm actually really a natural at landing. I think I wanted to ask you about this, Will, if you felt the same way, but having the flight experience as a private pilot, I noticed that the pressure, I had a feel for the landing, the flare that maybe a lot of my classmates didn't have. Did you have that same experience?
I didn't, except for, you know, when you're learning to land the airplane, your instructor's probably hounding on you. Look down at the end of the runway, at the end, eyes to the end of the runway, you know?
Yep.
So I had that going for me. Once I remembered that and put it into practice, landings were so much easier, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I did have that benefit. I mean,
There you go.
transferred that right over. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because that's one of the things that I, try to slam into the students. Always look at the horizon when you're coming in for a landing. When they forget, I know when they forget because they go straight down and they barely flare and they butt land. When they do look at the horizon, they have no problem coming in and they have a nice, perfect landing and they tiptoe away from it. So it's a huge difference.
I've got a story. This happened
Okay.
several nights ago, but I was coming, July 4th. Okay. And I was, it was at the very last couple of minutes of that twilight time that we can fly, right? 30 minutes after sunset. So it's getting kind of dark, and the field that I was landing in, they didn't mow it, which was kind of cool because as I was coming down, I kind of like my feet. I like to be able to feel the ground under my feet and then kind of flare. And but since they didn't mow it, I had this little cushion, these little weeds or whatever that are in a field. So as soon as I felt that, man, I'm like, oh yeah, right on, ground contact. So I don't know. The little things excite me, I guess you can tell.
Kind of reminds me of being in ground effect, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That feeling.
That's the hardest thing to do, really. I mean, it seems counterintuitive to wait until your foot touches the ground, that's very uncomfortable. But for me, it works.
Yeah.
Well, that reminds me. When I was training down at Aviator, it was actually the first class that Judson taught. He was an intern at the time. His very first class, and I was in it. And maybe my fourth landing, he got me doing a power slide to landing. So initiating pressure at like 3 feet off the ground, your feet just start sliding on the ground.
Yeah.
And it's this incredible feeling, and I felt like I'd been preparing for that for my entire life when, in the, cold winters in central Pennsylvania in the backyard, sliding on the ice. And I just, I had the feel for that. So it's like I've been training for that since then.
That sounds like what Sean does. Isn't that what you do, Sean?
Yeah,
Like
I call it a foot drag to a landing, but what'd you call it, Stephen? A power
slide to landing.
Power slide to landing. Okay, so
I don't know why. It just sounds cool.
Yeah, it does sound cool. I can do infinite power or foot drags, and then when I'm ready to land, I just cut power as I flare, and I just kind of step into it. I guess if you came down and slid and then landed, I guess that's a power slide, a little bit different than just a foot drag to a landing, but same thing.
Yeah, you're bleeding your energy with contact with the ground.
Yeah,
basically.
I've done a power slide to the landing, but it was on my stomach. Does that count?
Sure, why not?
On wet grass?
Why not? Sure, no problem.
Those are fun to watch.
Yeah, they are.
They definitely
it's hard not to laugh, I gotta admit.
Would you call it power what? Power landing?
Power slide to landing. Yeah. Power slide landing.
Power slide.
Yes.
as
Is that
to
anything like the
level.
electric slide?
Yeah.
I'm not a big dancer, so I don't know.
Okay, stop. Now I feel old.
Woogie, 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 it's electric. I know. You got some young kids like, what the hell is he talking about? What's electric? Boogie, woogie, woogie.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I had gym class and they tried to teach us that.
Gym class, that's
In
hilarious.
gym class, yeah.
Hey, Steve, and
Power
I'm still, this
slide.
whole time, I've been thinking about those windmills. Man,
Yeah.
that would be awesome to fly around. I'm gonna come up and fly with you.
Oh.
sometime. I can go fly around those.
Please
windmills.
do. Please do. We'll take you over there. Yeah, it's phenomenal up there. It's so gorgeous, and especially when you have good sunset and just everything, the light going on them. Yeah, you got to
Nice.
check it out.
That's
We have
really-
some cool spots in the viaduct. You know, the infamous viaduct. I visit that. You know, maybe a couple times a month. Always flying over there, and I still haven't worked up the gumption to fly under it yet, but I'll get there.
How about that? I was watching one of your videos and there was like, I guess it was the river, but there was like a sandbar that your buddy was foot dragging. Did that ring a bell?
I have a couple of those.
It was like a 13-minute long video. And
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's I also enjoy that kind of flying. I think I remember which one you're talking about. Was it the Carvey Night one that I called Carvey Night?
I think that's it. Yeah, I think
Okay.
that's it. So are you like a low and slow kind of, is that your style? Or you like flying high? What do you like to do?
Yeah, well, I definitely prefer slow and low. On occasion, I like going up high, and then doing wing overs down. I always got to get that practice in because I think that's crucial to progression and being comfortable and proficient with controlling the glider. But yeah, I love being in proximity to the ground and just following the terrain. And like last night, I was foot dragging some water, and it was warm, and I wasn't even sure if I touched it, but then when it started evaporating, I could tell because it was cold. Yeah, okay, this
That's
one.
it.
Yep. And I think I loop around here, and then I see Paul coming, and he does this kind of the same trick, and then I follow him and kind of get a good tracking shot at him.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a fun spot to explore. I'm usually over there.
My internet's not the best, so if someone else wants to share it, you're more than welcome to.
No, you hit it. That was the exact one I was talking about.
Yep. I was doing a lot of that kind of flying last night. Yeah. Yep.
I love doing that. One of our we just acquired another Atom 80, and a lot of my students were always wanting that Moster 185, and they're thinking that they wouldn't be able to get up in a Atom 80 being 150 pounds or 180 pounds. They want something with more strength, more power, right? So me and my infinite wisdom of being a 250-pound guy, let's go ahead and see what I can do in this Atom 80. And with the proper technique, making sure that you arch back with your posture, feel the pressure and power, I was able to keep my feet going and just keep myself from falling. And I got up in the air. Yeah, Grant, with me, a 250-pound guy, I didn't have the best climb rate, but I was able to get up and go fly around and have a good time.
There you go. There you go.
I wish that I was under 200 pounds, because I think that might be my go-to wing. It's so the motor is so
She's a
quiet.
Cadillac. Yeah.
It's so quiet.
It's quiet and smooth, and you barely know it's running. Yeah.
It really is amazing.
It really is a great engine. I agree.
Absolutely. Well, we have chatted with you for an hour.
Wow.
Had a really good time with you. It looks like we what do we got, Will? Did you just posted something? What do we got?
Yeah, there's a couple donations.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Saw that. Padre Brooke PPG donated $5 and Greg Laney donated $10. Thank you guys.
That's really nice of you guys.
Nice.
Thank you so very much. I wasn't able to
Thank
see
you.
that.
Thank you, chatters.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so very much for the donations. Everything that we get here, we turn around and put back into the show. And you know, we get these stickers. We send out stickers, Clear Prop TV stickers. We also got some Paraswag USA stickers, and we got some other stuff that we want to send out there. So if you guys have anything paramotor related that you'd like to give away on the show, please get up with me. Just text me 501-747-3558 or email me at ppggrandpa@gmail.com and say, hey, I got this. I'd like to donate this to the show, and we'll give it away. So we definitely appreciate you guys. Any other questions on the panel, or is any other questions in the super chat? All right, so looks like we are good. So what we'll do for the next half an hour is that we will go ahead and put our Zoom information in there, our meeting ID and passcode. If you want to join us and just jump on here and talk with us, the panel members or our guest, Stephen, you're more than welcome to do that. So let me go ahead and put that in our super chat, which my internet is extremely slow. I don't know why. Oh, because I got the wife out there. Hulu, which I probably cancel. Who needs all these streaming services when you can just come here on Monday night and watch our
That's
show,
what I was
right?
thinking.
right?
She should be watching you.
I know. Why are you not watching me?
Come on, wifey.
All right, so I'm going to paste this meeting ID so you can click the first link, and that first link should be able to automatically get you on the Zoom. And the second one, we have the meeting ID and passcode in case you need to plug in that information directly. I'm going to set up our waiting room, so you might just have to wait a minute before I let you in, and that's only because sometimes we get some interesting folks that want to join into these meetings and wreak havoc, and we don't like the havoc.
Party crashers.
I know, party crashers. Hey, we don't want to say crash. We don't want to say crash.
No, we don't
Crashes.
say that.
Crash is bad. So if you guys want to join
I'm
us,
thinking of that movie, The Wedding Crashers, you know.
we can say crashers is just, crashers. We don't want to say that. But if you guys want to jump on and chat with us, or Stephen, you're more than welcome to. We're going to be doing the after show for about a half an hour. If you guys want me to send you some free stickers, you can email me, or actually go to clearproptv.com, and we have a form that you can fill out, and that will send all your information over to me privately, or you can just text me 501-747-3558, say what your name is and your mailing address, and I will send you out some stickers. I found that the stickers that I sent out before, they all didn't get to their destination for some reason. I don't know why. So I'm going to resend out a bunch. I think everybody just wants more stickers for free, but no big deal. I just sent them out for free anyways. We got Harris Smith that joined us, so welcome. You're more than welcome to hang out with us if you want to. John Wayne is going to be jumping in here right now for our after show.
Cowboy in the house.
So join us and hang with us with your video on, or just listen to us in the background. It's no big deal. So anyway, Stephen, it sounds like you've had a very interesting couple of years. You've had a lot of fun flying experiences. You've been flying for a very long time. And you were doing paramotoring. Now, you did the trike thing with somebody that triked. Do you also trike, or you just went up with somebody in a trike last time?
Yeah, no, I just went up with somebody in a trike. I would love to get into some trike flying. I did get some ground handling. So Judson did take me or let me rip around on the Flash Cruiser when I was down there training to fly foot launch, but I didn't actually get it up in the air. So, but I do want to get that under my belt at some point here, maybe in the next year or two, hopefully year. Just, the sooner the better. The sooner I get up in a trike, the better, because I love the idea of it. And it looks like Brian Waller just commented something, but I know he flies the retracted trike, and I don't know, is that something that you can hook up to a Parajet, or would I have to get a Fly Products for that?
That I don't know, but I know that they bolt onto many different foot
Yeah.
launches. So
I think he has the same setup. I think he's got the Parajet.
Oh, okay.
okay.
Well, I'll have to
So
look
that
into
was-
that then. Thanks for the reminder, Brian.
He was asking that he asked if you've flown more advanced wings yet, and do you have your next wing picked out?
You know, I did. So I was leaning towards the Sirocco 3 as a good stepping stone, you know, in the next area of my progression. But so I don't know if you guys, well, I can't really say much about it. So my good buddy, Jeff Chorba, recently passed in a paramotoring accident, and that may or may not have been the wing that he was flying. So that kind of turns me off for now until I get more information on that wing and what happened. That's the other thing. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to speculate or, you know, say anything until we have more on that. But apparently the wing has been sent to the USPPA to be inspected. So we'll see what comes of that. So yeah, it was the Sirocco 3. Now I'm kind of leaning towards the ITV Piper. I'm looking for something maybe a little safer. I don't know, something that is, you know, maybe almost as nimble as that or as nimble, but maybe with a little more safety to it. I don't know.
Gotcha. It is after 8 o'clock. I know that some people need to go. I think Wade needs to go and stuff like that. So before you go, Wade, Parabrook and Hairsmith, if you want to turn on your camera, let's go ahead and do a thumbnail. John Wayne, you too, if you want to be in the thumbnail, just turn on your camera and let's go ahead and pop in a quick thumbnail clippy for us. Parabrook, if you want to, turn on your camera. And Hairsmith, if you want to, turn on your camera. Let's go ahead and get our thing going. Will Fly is going to snap the shot, right, buddy?
You ready?
All right.
1, 2, 1, 2, and 3. Need one more. 1. Dang it.
Come on,
Okay.
guys.
We're doing 2 thumbs or just 1?
I can only do 1. 1, 2, 3. There you go. We got it.
Nice. Always nice. Oh, and thank you, Will. Will actually designed our thumbnail for tonight's show. So if you saw that, that was Will's doing, and we definitely appreciate you, Will. Thank you so much for that.
Thanks, Will.
Welcome.
You know how I am about my thumbnail. You know I am Monday night.
This was a really good custom thumbnail. It wasn't just a screenshot like I normally do
Oh,
with
yes.
season 3, whatever the number is
Top of the
in the name.
line.
This was
Right.
this was high. This was classy. This was high
Come on
class.
now, you're embarrassing me.
Some good pics in there, Lindy. I appreciate it.
All right.
I love it.
And Wade left, so thank you very much, Wade. We appreciate you for hanging out with us tonight in the background. Definitely more than welcome to join us anytime you want to. Also, Stephen, too, you're more than welcome to be part of the panel every Monday. This is
Cool.
this is what we do. All the previous guests that are on the guest chat, you can come in and be part of the panel anytime that you want to.
Awesome.
Love to have
Thanks
you.
for the invite.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Padre Brooke, what's up, buddy? Thanks for the donation
guys.
tonight, bud.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll drive.
Howdy, howdy.
Hey, Will.
Hey, man. Straighten my hat out.
Monday.
Gangsta.
And what's up, John Wayne? We definitely appreciate you. You've been a member to the channel for a year. Also, too, Hey Bill's been a member on our channel for a year too, an actual member. So we definitely appreciate you guys hanging out with us and helping out the show. You guys don't know, but it costs a lot of money to pay for the premium Zoom, to pay for hosting and all that stuff. So all your donations just come right back to here, and we definitely appreciate you guys. And like I said, we're going to be able to send out free stuff to you guys. I'm going to try to get up with PPG Smoke and some other people, see if we can get some really big, I guess, prizes, because we haven't done that in a while. We've just been kind of short on funds, to the point that I got to put my drink in an old
Oh, good Lord.
old thing like this. I can't use a glass anymore. I got to use my old stuff.
Recycling.
Recycling.
You're sad. So sad.
Oh, man. Hey,
But,
Stephen, I'm kind of looking, it's not going to be much longer. I'm going to have to get another wing, but I'm thinking the ones, and I put it out there to the community. I said, hey, this is where I am, and what do you guys suggest? But the Scirocco 3 was one of them. And then the Gin Falcon, the ITV, what was
Piper.
it? Piper, yeah, that came up, and Spider 3 came up. But I mean, Spider 3 is basically, it's probably a step down. I've got the Mac Para Colorado right now. I love that wing. So
Why do you want to go from a Mac Para to something else? Is there,
Well-
are you just trying to go faster for long distance? I mean, what's your goal for the new wing?
maybe a little more speed, but I
Mhm.
could get that same speed by getting another Mac Para Colorado, but going down a size. I should be a 21 anyways, and I'm on a 23. But before I just went and made that decision, I wanted to hear other people's experience. There was a couple others, and I can't remember what they are, that were recommended.
I guess we can ask people in the super chat.
Sure, absolutely. So
Hey,
for someone who's been flying a Mac Para Colorado 23 for the last, I don't know, a little over a year now, what's next? I'm pretty satisfied with the Colorado, and other than I might do a barrel roll here or there, that's pretty much it for me. I mean, so yeah, I'd love to hear recommendations.
Okay, so anybody in the super chat have any recommendations for Will Fly for his next wing?
Yeah, and I don't know, no power mojo, come on. Put power on anything, it doesn't make it.
You know what's really funny is I've never flown in a wing until I got to school and I got some A wings. So I started flying some of the A wings, and they carve up the sky. I mean, there's no trims and very small trim range on the Mojo Power, I think, and there's no tip steering. So I took it up. Matter of fact, that's what I flew when I had the Animating on my back, and it was just so solid. It was really awesome, but I could weight shift and I could do some really big wing overs and spirals on it. So even though it's an A wing, you can really do some stuff with an A wing. I also got that Gin Vantage 3, which is both a hybrid for a motor flight or a free flight, for mountain flying. So I can use that getting up to about 5,000 feet, cutting the motor, and then, surfing the thermals and stuff during the day, which is really, really fun. Are you ever planning on doing like a midday flight, or what was the Gin Falcon that turned your head?
It was just it was just a recommendation. So I mean,
Okay.
I've not done any, and Slow Days mentioned the Hadron 3. That was one of them that I couldn't remember. And my buddy just got a Hadron 3 and he loves it. So
I heard those are good, and also hear a lot about the Universal 1.1. I haven't flown a Universal 1.1. Has anybody on the panel flown that? Universal 1.1?
isn't
Anybody
there,
in the chat, you fly a Universal 1.1? What do you guys think about that? Would you recommend it? And for what kind of pilot? Beginner, intermediate, advanced? I think the Spiders and the Roadster from Ozone are really good beginner to intermediate, and also it bleeds into advanced because it does have a huge trim range and the tip steering, and it has the speed bar. So they really can go fast, or they can go extremely slow and be very solid. I was able to demo a wing. It was a APCO Lift EZ R. R was for racing, right? So with the trims in or to neutral, not touching the tip steering or anything, it also has an anti-rocking stability type of thing and also an anti-stall system. So I tried to stall it, but I can't stall it unless I wrap 3 times and push and hold and wait for the damn thing to stall. It's a really neat little, I don't know how they do it, but it's on their risers. It's a little system to keep it from stalling. And it can really haul some butt too. So after I demoed it, I decided to buy it, and now I'm recommending that for students because it's very basic, it's very solid, and it will grow with you from basic, intermediate, even to advanced. It's really amazing little wing. But for people that want to do long distance or XCs, I guess I heard that the Universal 1.1 is good. And is that something you want to do too, Will? Is to do long cross countries?
And see, that's the thing. I mean, you can get a wing and you can go super fast, or you can get a wing that's just, really, so I'm kind of looking for that. I'm kind of looking for what I already have, I guess. Maybe just a little bit spicier.
Yeah, so you're not, so you're looking for just a second wing, right? You're not going to get rid of your first wing. You're going to just adding on to your arsenal. Yes.
I think so. I think
Yeah.
so. What was that, John?
Yeah. Sorry, John. What?
Have you? So
I'm not hearing
have
you
you flown
very.
a solo?
Have I flown the solo?
okay.
Sorry, John. I think your internet's going in and out, buddy.
It's all right. It's all right. We can still see you though.
Yeah, you look adorable with that cartoon wing above your head.
And the steering wheel in the
And the
foreground.
steering wheel. That'd be neat. Have a little steering wheel and your wing above your head. That'd be pretty cool. Stephen, real quick, how many wings do you have? And are you planning on getting another wing anytime soon?
Well, I love the heck out of my Spider 3. Like you said,
Yeah.
it's just so versatile, and I'm just finding that I'm growing it. I'm growing with it. It's allowing me to do that. So I'm in no hurry to get a next wing, but like Will said, I'm looking for something maybe just a little spicier. Maybe a little swoopier. And so yeah, it's either the Sirocco 3 or the ITV Piper or one of those intermediate wings. But yeah, but where was I going with that though? What was the next the segue for that?
I can tell you that who was it who just said, oh, I think John was saying, because Bill H mentioned this too, I'd love to get the solo 21 meter. So that's probably what John was saying.
Well, no, Sean, you were asking me what wings I have. The only wings I have are the Spider 3 and for ground handling the Roadrunner.
Oh, really? Okay. How do you like the Roadrunner? I need to get one. I need to get one,
Yeah.
but I don't know anybody that had one or used it unless they were at a school. So, as a student, tell me what you think about the Roadrunner.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, it's great for ground handling. I mean, it has all the same kind of characteristics for ground handling that you would want. And it gives you that buffer that you don't have to expose your wing to UV unnecessarily. You don't have to, weather your wing. You don't have to abuse it in proximity to the ground when you're ground handling. So yeah, it's just, I think it's a great thing to have. It really lets you keep maintain your ground handling skills without doing any damage to your main wing. So
That's awesome. Anybody out there have a wing like that, like the Roadrunner, or a small wing that's just for ground handling? You're ready to sell it because it's used. I do need one. Please get up with me, 501-747-3558. Let me know that you have one. I would love to get one for the school. It is 20 after 8. We said we're going to just hang out until about 8:30, but we can stay as long as you want to, or leave, because it is a good fly day still. You guys just let me know what you want to do. Will, how long do we have you for tonight? I know that you usually have to get out of here pretty soon.
Yeah, like another 10 minutes or so.
Okay, sounds good. So, Padre, what do you fly? Are you flying yet, or are you getting ready to fly?
Well, I've had 2 flights, but I had a little setback. I had to, I'm on my 4th week off right now. I messed up on some taxiing and took a pretty good dump in my paramotor. End up with an abscess in my shin that I had to have surgery on last Friday, and now I'm sitting with my foot up in a recliner all the time.
I like your shirt. Can you show us your shirt real quick? That's pretty cool. Hold on, let me go ahead and put you on spotlight. Things I do in my spare time. I go paramotoring, watch people paramotoring, research paramotoring. What's that bottom one? Love paramotoring, talk about paramotoring, think about paramotoring, dream about paramotoring.
That's my
That's
life right
great.
there. That's my life on a t-shirt.
My daughter got that for me for Mother's Day.
That
Oh, that's
is
great.
awesome.
Very
Yeah.
creative.
How many people watching or listening to the show are the same way? Nonstop warning, may talk about paramotors, because that's where I am too, which is why I got the show, because I just can't shut the hell up about paramotoring.
This is my life.
I just asked my daughter, she got the shirt on Etsy.
Nice.
Yeah, it's funny.
Okay, that's a good, I love that website. Etsy is
Awesome.
Sean, I can't
Yeah.
remember who it was. Maybe it was Tony was asking, what do you teach your students on? What wings do you use?
Well, we do have the Power Mojo, but we also have other ones, because we want our students to be able to try many different wings and then kind of determine what they want to do. I'm very lucky. I have lots of relations with importers and other schools, so I'm able to get people their equipment for a good price. Sometimes I get it for out of box or demo prices, which is really good. But we tried many different ones. We got the Ozone, we got the Roadster 3. We have the APCO Lift EZ, which is a really good one. We got the Mojo Power, which is a good A-wing that people tow on, or they go down the bunny hill with first. And then we have more advanced ones for advanced students that they get to use. And advanced ones they're already solo, they already pilot, so they can try different things. So they get to try the Gin Vantage 3, which is more of an intermediate and more carvy. It only has A's, B's, and C's, and the trim range is this big with no tip steering. So even with the trims all the way out, you can still, use your full range of brakes, which is really interesting for students. And sometimes we get students that train. Let's see what else we got. We got another one too. We just got another one. I can't remember. So we got different sizes of many different wings. Mostly the A's are the Power Mojo, are the ones that go up for towing, and sometimes their first flights. But they also have a choice of buying their first wing. So yes, they get to fly our equipment, but as soon as they get their first wing, whatever that is, then they get to go up on the tow machine to feel that new wing that they got, and then they can go up and solo with their new wing, which is really pretty awesome. Most people, believe it or not, they like the APCO Lift EZ. Very easy to inflate. They got that stability system and that anti-stall system on the risers, which I think is pretty awesome. Because we had one person that was on the tow machine, and they, with their hands on the brakes, they didn't hear me, or they knew better. I told them, stow your brakes, get into your seat, and they were like, get into my seat. Okay. Got into their seat like that. It should have stalled them, but as soon as they went down like that, they got themselves in their seat, put their hands back up. It never stalled, even with all the way down to their butt. So I believe in this Lift EZ. Very, very awesome. And it definitely will grow with you if you got the Lift Easy R. The R is for racing. And once you let the trims out and push that speed bar, it's one of the fastest ones that I have used. And it's stable enough to, if you do a cross country and you do top off your tank, and 5 gallons is 30 pounds, and then you have, your equipment or your camping gear or whatever that you're going to be using on you, that is a very solid wing. It'll get you off the ground. And once you're off the ground, let the trims out, push that speed bar, and man, it's like a race car. It's awesome.
Right on, man.
Sorry that was kind of winded, but I really like that. I really like it.
I
Do
can
you know,
tell. Go ahead, Jim.
do you know of a place where you could get a larger fuel tank?
I got the max. I got a 5-gallon tank.
Where do you get it?
On mine, I got it from, I have the SkyTap Angel. So I got up with SkyTap Paramotor.
Okay, I'll ask them.
Andy
Mine only
Fuller.
holds 16 and I'd like some more.
Depending on what frame you have, you may not be able to get up to 5 gallons. There's not a lot of paramotors that will go up to the maximum of 5 gallons. They usually are short a couple of liters. And trust me, 5 gallons is freaking heavy. If you don't have a wing big enough and a motor fast enough, I'd never try to get up on that Atom 80 with 5 gallons.
I got a strong desire.
I want to, but not so much. Will, what kind of you have a Moster 185? What's the maximum amount of gas you can put in yours?
8 liters, isn't it? I think
8 liters?
Mhm.
How about you, Steven? What's the max that you can put in
12.
yours? You can
12.
put in 12 liters?
Yeah.
What's the max on yours, Jim? Do you know offhand?
17.5.
Okay.
Actually, I take that back. I think you can get a different tank. Like you can buy separately a different tank that's 17, but the one I have is 12.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't think I'm right with the 8 liters. I'm maybe 10 liters. I don't know. I'll have to look it up.
Okay. Anybody in the super chat? What's the maximum liters or gallons, depending on where? What's the maximum amount of gas that you can put in your paramotor? And then tell us about the maximum that you normally put in your paramotor. With me, I like to max out my tank. I put in 5 gallons, and it's very heavy. I usually go out for at least a 2-hour flight, so that will give me at least 2.5 hours of flight time. So that's the reason why I do that, because I love to fly. It's very unlike me to get up and flying and then coming down within 2 hours. I'm usually up for at least 2 hours. How about you, Stephen? How long do you normally fly?
Well, initially it was, like I said earlier, about 10 or 15-minute flights. And then, as I got more comfortable up in the air and with the area, I've been doing like an hour 45, an hour and a half. So
Good.
yeah, I'm kind of up there now with you.
Good. How about you, Will? How long do you normally fly?
How long? About an hour and a half.
About an hour and a half? Okay. Jim?
Oh, well, recently I've been going 3 hours.
Wow.
What? Wow. What size tank?
I said 17.5 earlier, but it's actually 16.
Okay, and that can get you 3+ hours?
Yeah.
On a Moster 185?
You betcha. I adjusted the lower screw, and I have got it down to about 3.94 liters per hour.
Do you have a temperature gauge on that?
No.
How about you, John Wayne? About how long do you normally fly when you get up in the air? What's your average?
Right around an hour.
An hour?
Yeah, about an hour.
How-
It'd be 2 hours, but I average about an hour.
Okay. How about you, Padre? When you fly, about how long do you like to fly?
I just have a couple short flights, 15 or 20 minutes.
Okay. That's awesome. And also too in the super chat about how long do you fly? What's your average? It's always good to know. Well, we're at 8:30. We can keep on talking. I know Will usually needs to drop out about now. So if you need to, we'll say goodbye. If not,
I'll hang out with you.
okay.
I'm out, guys.
I need to take off because I need to go and prepare for tomorrow morning's flight.
I like that. He needs to take off. I heard that. That was good. I like that. That was good.
I'm gonna take off too.
I love it. Everybody's taking off. That's the way to do it. You got to.
Sean, I'm gonna have to take off as well.
Then we will call it a night, y'all. So thank you very much. Definitely appreciate y'all for being here. Everyone that's listening to us, everyone that's watching live, everybody that jumped on the panel, we definitely appreciate you. Thank you so much for your help, Will. Everything that you do, Jim. Thank you, Linda, for getting everybody. John Wayne, thank you for helping support our channel, and of course, Stephen. Thank you very much for being our guest tonight.
Thank you for having me.
So much fun. And like I said, you can be on the panel and hang with us anytime that you want to.
Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
Thank you,
Awesome.
Stephen.
Appreciate it, guys.
Appreciate
Thank you so much.
You guys
Stay
have
out
a
there.
wonderful day, and we'll
Thank you.
see you tomorrow. Is there a show tomorrow, Will?
Yes, there is. Tuesday, 8 p.m. Go to YouTube, search for Never Trust a Skinny Chef Shane, and yeah, hang out with us on Tuesday night hangouts.
Awesome. And then Wednesday, I believe that we still got an all girls podcast over at paramotorgirl.com. And then
Yes.
Linda, what do we have going on Thursday?
Well, on Thursday nights, we have paraglidingchalk.com with my awesomest son, Robert Michaels. But this Thursday, there will not be a show because Robert is on a vacation with his wifey, and they're in Maui.
Ooh, lucky ducks.
I know. And I'm so happy for them. So we'll be back the following week. So
Well, he needs a vacation, so
Yeah.
that's awesome.
so happy. They're having a blast. I'm so happy for them. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you very much, Linda, for helping us. She's our PR girl. If you want to be on the show, get up with paramomusa.com. If you need any stickers made or decals, make sure you get up with Jim over in Canada and go to carepp.com for that. Or if you want to watch his shenanigans, go to careppg.com. We'll fly. Thank you so much for everything that you do on the show. And for anybody wanting to watch his fun shenanigans, go to willflyppg.com. My name is Sean Symons, PPG Grandpa, your host, and we'll see you next week on PPG Grandpa's Paramotor Podcast, Clear Prop TV, and CareTalk.org. We'll see you all later. And thanks again, Stephen. You're awesome, buddy.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
All right, y'all have a
Bye.
great evening.
Yes.
Peace out, guys.
Bye.
And